Good morning, folks. Today's project is to assess what needs to be replaced of this fascia board right up here. This section right here is definitely rotted, and that's going to come out. But I'm thinking, there's a seam right here. I'm thinking down there might still be good. So I'm going to climb up there on the ladder and do a little poking and prodding so that I can get things situated here. Let's move it down this way and we'll just see how things look. That gives a good, there we go, gives a good look. Let's see what we got going on. First things first, this is an old clothesline, it's got to go. Get the old handy painter's tool out. This feels good. Feels like good dry pine. See up here. This was, Dad says it was primed, but I don't think it was done properly. And it's just, we'll see what we can do with this. Anyway, this all feels pretty good. There's some berries in there. Alrighty. Well, that's what it's going to look like. I'll just keep doing this. Yeah, this all feels solid. So really I only have one section down there that needs to be replaced. So I'm going to do a little bit here and I'll be back later. Take two. So here we are. I've cleaned off. I've used the paint scraper. I got everything off that I could. I got to get up there on the ladder and clean this end up. But this board is going to stay. A little wire brushing maybe, and well, tap that nail back in. But, got some nails that need to be set back in. A little more cleanup doing. This board is not in terrible shape. Here's the joint for the new board, or the second board. And this line here originally is where I was thinking of cutting, but I think I'm going to come down to this nailing point. And I think I'll do the cut here, and everything from there in is going to come out and be replaced with new. But right now I'm waiting for these bees to all die, because we got some that were out away from the nest when I sprayed, and they're coming back looking for the rest of the gang, and they're not there anymore because I killed them. And I hope that does the whole job, because I think we're out of hornet and wasp spray. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to make the cut right here. You can see that nail head. I'm going to make that cut and just take all the rest of that board right out, because that's completely rotted, and replace that with a new one with a piece of cedar that will fit right in there. And everything will be primed before it goes up. We'll prime it, stain it, paint it, whatever it is. And I think we're going to put some gutters on to keep the water from coming down the fascia and send it down to the corner and out into the yard. And I figure 24 feet or so of rain gutter is not going to break the bank. So that's it for now. We'll be back when we have an update. Alrighty, ready to make the cut. Let's see if we can get this to work the way I hope it will work. Get some spreaders in here. That should do it. Let's get some eye protection on. We'll see. Just like that. I love it when a plan comes together. It worked. Now while I'm have the spreader in, I can put a nail on this side. There. Now this board, from there down, will be pulled right out. So that worked out wonderfully. I'll be back in a bit. Alright, our next little task is get some rest of these nails out. There's 2 nails at each spot and at the end, so there's 2, 4, 6, probably have 8 nails to pull. I'm going to do a couple here just so you'll see what it looks like. There's a dead one. So we can pull this. Now I've been using this. This up underneath here. That keeps everything out of the way. And we'll get what's called, it's sort of kind of a cat's claw. Just like that. Alrighty, we'll just keep moving down the row. I'll finish the rest of these and be back in a minute. And we're going to find out what's in behind all that stuff. Well, the board came off just fine, and yeah, we got pretty clean up in these parts. But when we get over into that corner, let's see if I can give you a good view. When we get over into this corner, there's an active nest up inside. And yeah, they weren't too happy when I sprayed them. While I was still trying to get the last of the nails off, I got hit 2 or 3 times by a couple of wasps. So now I know why they were still hanging around. I didn't get them all. So I think we got them now. Yeah, I got in there and sprayed them and that killed them. So yeah. And that would also explain how they're getting in, because there was no nailing, no board to nail the fascia to on that end, so they were just climbing right around the corner. Alrighty, so that nest is dead. I can now get to the business of prepping the replacement board, and we'll get on with that project here. Back in a bit. Of course, I was too focused. I forgot to bring the camera back out when I nailed on the new fascia board. It all went in real nice. This is a piece of white cedar, a little bit thicker than the original board, but it will still do the job. Next up is going to be putting some primer paint on there, and then we have some paint the same color as the rest of the trim, and we'll get that on. And after the paint is all cured up, I'm going to take some, or if I have to buy some, here we are, get some caulking and seal these seams after it's been painted with preferably some clear silicone. And I got a couple of bees that still haven't got their eviction notice yet, or they didn't get the memo. But anyway, we have replaced the rotted out section. Sorry I didn't get the nailing on part, but it's just putting in nails. And I just used my flat bars to get the drip edge up so I could get a nail in and up underneath, because where that bottom nail is right near the bottom of the rafter that's coming out, or the truss end, or whatever is in there. But that's it for now. Gonna have some lunch, and maybe I'll get some wasp spray and hit a couple of these guys again, because they're still coming back. I guess there's just one there. It's a shadow, makes it look like more. Anyway, that's it for now, and we'll be back later on, show you the priming and painting. I know it's really exciting. Alright, time for the primer paint. I'll have to dodge some bees here, I guess. I'll do this while dumping the paint in. Worry about being too weak, because maybe another coat of brown goes on, and then we're going to use rain guards. This is what we got going on for now. Alrighty, well that's pretty much how it's going to go. I'll be back later. Well, there's the primer coat on. Just to give you a quick look. This was a, let's see, what did I use? Zinsser primer sealer. Exterior and interior paint adheres to any surface, it says. So there it is. It's on. I didn't get the end very good, but I couldn't actually see it very well from the ladder. Anyway, we're going to let that thing cure for a couple of days. It says 24 hours, but you know, you can always give it more. So we're going to let it go for a couple of days, and the next good sunny day when it's nice and dry, I will put the brown coat on, and that should be done with this job. The next job coming up is one that I've mentioned before, and that is taking the two protruding sections of the deck off. And now that everybody's awake, and before I sit down and zone out on something, I think I'm going to take this section off, and I'm probably going to work on getting this section out too. We got support underneath, so that's okay. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But basically I'm going to have to pull up a couple of deck boards off of here, right there, and maybe I have to see. Is that nailed on the inside? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of nail removal, and then I'll just take the reciprocating saw and just cut these posts off at ground level. And I am going to cut off right even here and get rid of that little stuff. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, that's going to be the next job. I think I'm going to try to tackle that today. At least get this first one off. Of course, first thing I got to do is cut the rails and go from there, because this is all screwed on. They've been on there for a long time. Those screws are not going to come out, even though they are galvanized. But after I get these two sections off, and then I can refresh the support under this corner, which, as you can see, is kind of leaning. I'm going to bring it out to here where it belongs, because there is a beam that goes right through there, a support beam. I'll get one there, and then I have one on the other side, and at least one in the middle over there. And this deck should be leveled up fairly well. First thing to do is get the edges level and then bring the center up to match. I'm probably going to, if I have the ambition, I'm going to take this section right here and cut it right off, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how much energy I have by the time I get done with the first section. That's it for now. See you later.